July 2, 2021. A holiday weekend in the United States. Then the order lands: shut down your VSA servers. Now, across the Atlantic, supermarket checkouts go dark. Hundreds of Coop stores in Sweden cannot take payment. This was not a random phishing wave. It was a trusted IT pipe turned into a ransomware truck. How does one admin tool freeze about 1,500 businesses? Tonight's corporate breach case is the Kaseya Ransomware attack, REvil, managed service providers, and a remote management platform turned into a blast radius that hit checkouts and clinics in the same weekend. Figures from company statements, wires, and security reporting. Full links in the description. We cite counts. We don't invent them. Kaseya is not a grocery brand. It sells the remote tools that keep small IT shops alive. Patch, monitor, push updates. When that pipe breaks, the failure does not stay inside one company. It fans out through every customer the MSP touches, offices that never heard of Kaseya until the screen's locked. Concentration risk with a holiday calendar. Plain English first. Think of VSA as a master remote for other people's computers. Managed service providers use it to keep dental offices, shops, and libraries patched without driving to every desk. That trust is the product. And trust, when abused, is also the weapon. One console, many endpoints. That is the design and the danger. In Sweden, Coop felt it at the register. Reuters reported roughly 800 stores closed because payment systems failed. Other reporting put the count nearer 500. Either way, the lesson is the same. A US software vendor, a local MSP, a grocery chain that could not charge for milk. Kaseya said it detected a cybersecurity issue involving on-premises VSA and told customers to take those servers offline immediately. SaaS came down as a precaution, even where the company later said it saw no evidence of the same ransomware path. Survival first, convenience later. The Independence Day weekend became an outage calendar. People expect a user clicking a bad link. That is not the opening move here. Researchers described zero-day flaws in VSA, authentication and upload paths, chained so attackers could land privileged control on the console itself. Then the platform did what it was built to do: push software to agents sitting on every managed machine. Here is the first turn. The ransomware did not need to trick every receptionist into opening a bad attachment. It needed the remote tool those receptionists already trusted. Hold that. The update channel was the door. Security firms tied the encryptor to REvil, also called Shutdown, a ransomware-as-a-service machine with affiliates hunting scale. The payload rode in like a VSA agent hotfix. Legitimate privilege. Illegitimate outcome. The tool that installs patches became the tool that installs pain. Walk the blast math. Kaseya's early count was about 40 direct customers. The company later said fewer than 60 were compromised, many of them managed service providers. Those providers touch many businesses. The downstream estimate landed under about 1,500. Small door, wide hallway. That is how vendor risk becomes Main Street risk. Walk the path. 0 day into on-prem VSA. Privileged foothold on the console. Malicious update pushed as a trusted agent job. Endpoints encrypt under system-level power. MSPs go dark. Customers go dark behind them. One admin platform. A fan-out measured in businesses, not press releases. The Dutch Institute for Vulnerability Disclosure, DIVD, had been researching Kaseya VSA flaws since April and working a coordinated disclosure. Patches were rolling across the spring. July 2nd still arrived with enough unpatched surface for REvil to win the race. Disclosure is not immunity. Timing is the rest of the story. Public tracking centered on CVE 2021-30116 and a cluster of related VSA issues, credential and business logic flaws, upload abuse, code injection. TrueSec later mapped a chain that turns web flaws into ransomware procedures. Jargon second. Journey first, break the console, then ride the agents. On REvil's Happy blog, the operators floated a universal decryptor for roughly $70 million in Bitcoin. Press also reported smaller per victim asks, tens of thousands up toward multi-million demands for bigger targets. Actor pricing, not a company filing. Treat it as the extortion theater it was. Second turn, fewer than 60 direct hits. Under about 1,500 businesses in the blast. The scare is not the first number on the slide. It is the multiplier hiding behind managed IT, the quiet outsourcing most boards never put on a risk map. The FBI and CISA pushed guidance for MSPs and their customers. Backups air-gapped from the poisoned pipe manual patching while the channel was untrusted, multi-factor where it still mattered. The White House told Russia it would be held accountable for criminal safe harbors. Geopolitics entered a software outage that started as an admin console problem. Kaseya raced a patch. On-premises fixes landed around July 11th, the 9.5.7 a class build, while SaaS restoration staggered back online. Days of dark remote management. Days of businesses improvising without their usual IT autopilot. Human stakes lived in ordinary rooms. Dental chairs, architecture desks, libraries, plastic surgery centers. Kaseya's CEO described the victim pattern as small businesses, the kind that outsource IT because they cannot staff a SOC. Cyber failure as a closed door on Monday morning. Not a headline about a $1 trillion cloud. A locked front desk. Around July 13th, REvil infrastructure went dark. Cause debated. Victims who had started negotiating suddenly faced silence. Extortion depends on a working cash register on both sides. For a moment, even that broke. Then the key. Around July 21st and 22nd, Kaseya said it obtained a universal decryptor from a trusted third party. Microsoft helped validate it. Victims started unlocking for free after weeks of chaos. Later, the company said it did not pay a ransom, directly or through anyone else, for that key. Attribute the claim. Keep the mystery where mystery remains. The Wall Street Journal later reported the FBI had a decryptor earlier and delayed sharing for roughly 3 weeks while disruption work against REvil continued. Press framing. Hard trade-off. Victims waiting while agencies hunted bigger impact. We do not settle that debate in this VO. We name it. Third turn. If your security model assumes the remote management vendor is a safe island, you do not have defense in depth. You have a single hose that can flood every customer attached to it. Stack the receipts. A holiday weekend shutdown order. Under 60 direct compromises. Under about 1,500 downstream businesses. A $70 million universal ask on a leak blog. A free decryptor weeks later after the chaos had already landed. Cost of failure measured in dark checkouts and a poisoned update pipe. Cleanup is blunt. Treat remote management platforms as Tier 0 infrastructure, as critical as identity. Segment MSP access. Monitor impossible mass agent jobs. Keep offline backups that a poisoned update cannot reach. Patch on disclosure timelines, not holiday calendars. And ask every vendor one hard question. If your admin console dies, how many of my customers die with it? Open questions remain. How many MSP pipes still look like single points of failure? How many boards still confuse vendor trust with vendor immunity? DOJ later announced arrests and seizures tied to the Kaseya case. Accountability in fragments, months after the holiday weekend. The blast radius was not a fragment. Which corporate failure should we open the file on next? Comment below. This was corporate breach. Sources include Kaseya's incident notices, DIV case notes, Cisco Talos, Trend Micro, TrueSec, Reuters, Security Week, Bleeping Computer, NPR, TechTarget, and CSO Online. Full links in the description.